Hello boys, girls and NBs, and welcome to the first episode of Relearning the Spire. Now, what exactly are we doing? Slay the Spire is a game that I am very, very fond of. I've played around 200 hours of it, and then I never picked it up again. Despite having this many hours and quite a bit of experience with it, I never actually reached Ascension 20, which is the highest level of challenge that this game can provide. So, I've recently come back to Slay the Spire and found out that I absolutely am miserable and helpless at it. So, I thought, why not create a new profile and just relearn it from scratch? And that is exactly what we're doing. We have here our account that has 0.1% progress for some reason. Thank you, Slay the Spire, for giving me that freebie. Surely, that'll get me finished that much quicker. I will be treating this as a beginner series, so as we unlock new things and as we see new things, I am going to explain them as they go. And hopefully, anyone that hasn't, for some reason, picked up Slay the Spire can learn and grow alongside with my own experience. So, let's begin. At the start, we only have one of 4 characters unlocked. This is the Ironclad. The Ironclad is very much the warrior big buff boy of Slay the Spire. They focus on strong defense and strong offense and all of the taking damage, healing damage, just being an absolute unit. We are running with some mods, so your game will not look exactly like this unless you mod it the way that I have. None of the mods that I have are gameplay changing. I have 4 mods. One of them is just the base mod that you need to mod anything. Then we have obviously the colored map. I have Minty Spire, which is just a variety of quality of life stuff. And then I have the deck tracker, which should hopefully make the viewing experience a bit better. And also, that way I don't need to be... it eliminates some button clicks in order to find out what's in my draw and discard. So, in Slay the Spire, you progress in the usual roguelike fare through these nodes until eventually they all converge on the final boss. You do this 3 times and boom, you've won the game. Congratulations. Along the way, we obviously want to get stronger. Now, a good way to get stronger in Slay the Spire, and because I'm playing on Ascension 1, I am pretty confident. It's not even Ascension 1, it's Ascension 0 right now. I am pretty confident that we can take elites, which are especially tough fights, that give you a reward in the form of a relic, and better cards as well. I think we can pretty safely take a bunch of elites. There is a shop straight after this elite as well, which means that I probably want to take a number of small fights. So my path is probably looking like this. Off the side to get an event, get a rest to upgrade something, go into the elite, buy something, get some treasure. And then at this point we can actually deviate. If we are doing very badly here, which I doubt, we actually have a rest followed by a normal fight followed by a rest, and then potentially no fights and another rest. So this is an extremely safe path. But if we're feeling confident when we reach this point, we can go to the elite. So without further ado, let's begin. Doesn't make any difference where I start? No, it doesn't. Fantastic. We'll skip the tutorial, I'll tell you all about it. So, at the beginning of the turn, we draw 5 cards all the time, unless there's a modifier to it. We have our energy, which will be used for playing the cards. Every card is either an attack, a skill, or a power. Attacks do what you think they do. They deal damage. Skills have a variety of uses. The most common one is defensive skills, which give you block, which prevents damage being done to you. These louses, above their heads, you can see their intents. They wish to deal 5 and then 7 damage to me, for a total of 12. I thought I had the mod that just gives me the total damage that I'm going to take, but oh well. Which is obviously not good. I don't want to take that much damage. So I'm going to play 2 blocks, and now only 2 damage is coming through. and I shall deal a strike for 6 damage to this Louse. Now, Louses have a passive ability that the first time they are hit, it is called Curwa, the first time they are hit, they block for the amount that it says on there. So this one had a 6, this one has a 5 for the next time that I hit them for the first time. And then I end my turn. I apologize for anyone that is familiar with Slay the Spire and these kinds of games in general. I just want to be as tutorial heavy as possible. So we have here the, for the benefit, of course, of any new viewers. We have here the Ironclad's unique card. Everyone starts with strikes and defends, but everyone also starts with a different unique card. This is Bash. It deals a bunch of damage, and it makes it so that for the next 2 turns, well, for this turn and the next one, the enemy takes 50% more damage. Very useful. Now, we are receiving damage again, but here's the thing. I could block for 5, or I could just kill this thing, and I've essentially blocked for 5, because there's now 5 less damage coming my way. And for the rest, I believe we can just defend and strike. I am happy taking some damage, because every character also starts with a specific relic, and the Ironclads is that they heal 6 at the end of every combat. We've drawn our cards, we went through our entire deck, and so the draw pile reshuffled from the discard. Every single card that I have went back here, and we drew another 5. And we can just kill here. Now, a habit that I have is that I've played with my keyboard for about 200 hours. I understand that that doesn't make for the greatest viewing experience, and I will try to avoid it. So, at the end of combat, we receive money and a card choice. We usually get 3 card choices. Again, there's some modifiers to that. We have Warcry, draw a card, put a card from your hand on the top of your draw pile. I don't particularly like that. Reckless Charge is 0 energy to deal 7 damage, so just a smidge better than a strike. But it does put a Dazed into my draw pile, which is a dead card, basically. I cannot play it. It wastes a card draw for me. And then we have Perfected Strike. Deal 6 damage, deal 2 additional for all your cards containing Strike. I actually think we skipped this. Yes, thank you. I swear the animations are slower as well. Is this perhaps to do with my settings? Are the settings different? Yes. Okay. There you go. Okay, now this is the game that I know how to play. Fantastic. So, we have 2 slimes. This one is about to put this one is about to weaken me. This one is about to deal 8 damage and put a slime in my deck, which again is a dead card, which I don't like. I think for 8 damage, we just go ahead and deal damage. So as long as I don't take any more damage, I've not received anything on this one. I can block this quite easily with a block. And then I can use my 2 strikes to deal damage through. And that should hopefully mean that this is dead. Yes. And it intends to attack me. Fantastic. We shall kill it. We shall apply vulnerable to him. And he also only has 1 life left. This should be an easy cleanup. Fantastic. Yes, powers. We have Rampage, which I quite like. Deal 8 damage. Increase this card's damage by 5 this combat. So the objective of this is obviously you want to have a thin deck and just continuously play Rampage. Dark Embrace, whenever a card is exhausted, draw 1 card. We shall go over what exhaustion means in a second. And then Flex, gain 2 strength. At the end of this turn, lose 2 strength. So all your attacks deal 2 extra damage. And then that goes away at the end of the turn. I think I'll take Rampage. We shall go into what exhaustion means when it happens. We want to avoid the shot. I think I can block, and then I want to deal more damage through. Yeah, because that's 6 damage. So it's not the worst. I think put vulnerable on him and block. Do we have lethal? So this is 19 damage. This has to be lethal, right? Yeah, it has to be, because these attacks are going to deal 9, so this is 18 plus 18. I believe that 18 plus 18 is greater than 26. Fantastic. We've got our first potion, which are consumable at any point in combat to give yourself a little bit of an advantage. Uppercut is a lot of damage. It's very good. It's a lot of damage. It makes the enemies deal 25% less damage to you on that turn, and you deal 50% more damage on that turn as well. You can upgrade it to be too weak and too vulnerable, which means that it'll go on for that turn and the turn after, which makes Uppercut amazing at that point. The problem with it is that as its base form is not great. Rage, whenever you play an attack this turn and gain 3 block, and you'll note it's 0 mana. It upgrades to get more block. And then Dark Embrace we've already seen. I think I'll take the Uppercut. And we then go into a concept of, in this game, called Upgrade Debt. So, certain cards in your deck are Remove Debt, which you want to take them away from your deck as soon as possible. This is your strikes and defense, because they're not great compared to other cards. I mean, again, compare a strike, deal 6 damage, to a rampage, deal 8 damage, infinitely incremental for the same cost. You know, it's not great. And then there's some cards that are Upgrade Debt, which is they aren't very good in their base form, but if you upgrade them, they become good. So you want to upgrade them as soon as possible, to the detriment of other cards. That's what Uppercut does to us. Now I am receiving a lot of damage. I don't like that. Let's use a Uppercut to kill off 5 of that damage. I think we want to deal damage through. We're just gonna... The slime fights in the early game, they just suck. It's whatever. We can actually use that and that to kill that slime, and then we can prevent this one from weakening us. So we take another 5. We still get weakened by the one in the back, but that's okay. We still have enough damage to just about kill that slime. We take another 3 damage. And then we can bash it. Fantastic. Fairy in a bottle. When you die, heal 30% of your max HP instead, and discard this potion. We have Cleave, which is a fantastic card, godlike card. We have Shrug It Off, which is again a fantastic card. And we have Carnage. Now Cleave deals 8 damage to all enemies, or we can Shrug It Off for gaining 8 block and drawing a card, which is very nice. It upgrades to be 11 block, which is, again, compare that to a normal defend. Yeah, it's no comparison whatsoever. And then we have Carnage, which is just a big hit. It's just a big hit, and the thing that I quite like about it is that it's ethereal. So, if at the end of the turn we don't play this, it burns itself away from our deck for that combat. That's what exhaustion means. It burns itself for the rest of the combat. There are ways to circumvent it. We'll go about that when it arrives. I think I want to Cleave, because we are slowly approaching our first... Well, that's the thing. I know what the elites are. And there's one of them... There's one of them that's in a, that is a 3 enemy fight, which for that we definitely want to Cleave. And then there's another one which is 2 big targets. For that we definitely want the Carnage. I think because the chances is 1 to 3 of needing the Cleave, I'll take the Carnage. And as soon as we quick that elite, we'll be proven wrong. Don't worry. Oh boy. This man intends to deal a lot of damage to us. I think we want to Carnage him. Yikes. So, big slimes, they can be split once they're at 50% HP. I think we can do that with a Rampage. We sure can. And now these are normal slimes, they do not split. So we want to deal as much damage as possible to one of them, kill them off. And then finally, Rampage and Carnage. For 33 neat little damage. Iron Wave looks very good, but really, all you've done is combine a strike and a defend. So gain 5 block, deal 5 damage. All you've done is combine 2 bad cards. I don't think that's worth it. Rupture, whenever you lose HP from a card, gain 1 strength. This is actually a card that makes some bad cards good. And some good cards amazing. There are some good cards that make you lose HP. This just puts a little cherry on top of that. But I don't think we have any need for this. We don't have any synergies. Ghostly Armor, Ethereal. Again, we've seen that. If you don't play it, it burns itself out. Gain 10 block. We've actually taken all attacks. So I think that Ghostly Armor is just a solid pick for some defense. Here we want to upgrade... Do we want to upgrade the Uppercut or the Rampage? I think the Uppercut, just because that 2 weak, 2 vulnerable is so much better than 1 weak, 1 vulnerable. That's what you can do at rest sites, by the way. I apologize. I keep forgetting that we're doing a beginner series. You very much want to hit the campsites as much as possible because they give you upgrades, and they can also allow you to restore a certain amount of your health instead. Look at that! So you remember how I said that we have a 1 in 3 chance of being proven wrong, and that Carnage is not a great card in this? Well, one thing you learn about me, dear viewer, as we progress through this adventure together, is that 1 in 3 odds are always going to fuck me. Alright, let's do this. So the Sentries are one of the 3 elites in the first act. They alternate between dealing 9 damage or putting 2 dazed in your discard pile, which don't affect you immediately, but you gotta remember, next turn we're going to draw 5 cards and we only have 4, which means that all of this is going to get shuffled into this, which is going to not be good for us. I think we need a potion to kill this, so I'm going to go ahead and pull the Rampage back and just get rid of it. And now we're only taking a little bit of damage. Another thing that they have is Artifact, which is they negate debuffs, which means that if I hit with this, he will not become vulnerable. 1 Artifact blocks an instance of application. So it doesn't block 1 out of the 2 vulnerable, it blocks the entire attempt to apply 2 vulnerable. I hope that makes sense to you. Okay, so we want to deal damage to 1 in the back, because that's the one that's going to be attacking us next turn. So we throw out some damage on him, we receive some, but it's fine. Okay, not great. The turn plays itself, unfortunately. And by that I mean we only have 3 cards and 3 energy. Okay, so Uppercut would apply 2 vulnerable here, because the Artifact would block apply 2 weak, and then apply 2 vulnerable would happen afterwards. All of the sequencing happens from top to bottom, which is an important thing to note. I think that because of that, we want to Rampage the guy in the back, and we want to apply vulnerable to this guy. He's going to deal damage to us, but it's fine. And then this turn plays itself, and I think, not quite a kill, but it's probably a kill next turn. We have a lot of attacks. Yeah, Uppercut. Okay, we receive a Relic reward. Upon pickup, gain 2 potion slots, so we can now carry 5. Fantastic. Yes, thank you. Weak Potion for applying weak, as it might imply. Clash is the single best card in the entire game. And you can check on other popular Slay the Spire streamers to get confirmation on this. Battle Trance, draw 3 cards. You cannot draw additional cards this turn. This is very good. Sword Boomerang is also very good. It's 3 damage to a random enemy 3 times. One thing you have to realize is that we're playing the Ironclad. The Ironclad plays around with strength a lot, right? So we have a strength potion, which can only be used one combat, but it makes every attack deal that much extra damage. And the way that this influences the damage of the attack is that it increases this number. It increases the damage number. So a 2 strength is actually 6 strength for this card specifically. It's 6 extra damage, which is fantastic. And then there's other ways of gaining strength. As the Ironclad, it's their whole thing. I think Battle Trance is very nice, and we do have way too many attacks already. I want to take the Sword Boomerang, but Clash, just to go over the meme, it's a dead card. It's quite useless. It's quite difficult to make work, because it can only be played if every card in your hand is an attack. If you have a power, it's a dead card. If you have a defense, it's a dead card. If you go through that fight that we just did, in which they keep putting statuses in your deck, it's a dead card. This card is a dead card most of the time. This is akin to taking a curse, which is not great. I'm gonna take Battle Trance. Then we hit the shop. We have a decent amount of money. At the shop, you'll be faced with these choices. At this corner, there will always be a power, as far as I know. Then you have cards for your class. You have colorless cards, which every single character can see. You have your relics, you have your potions, and you have the most holiest of services, the card removal. The first thing we want is card removal. We're gonna get the strike out of here. Fantastic. We have less garbage in our deck. Couldn't be happier. Thank you very much, Merchant. And then, with the remaining money, we have either Panic Button, which is quite good, as long as you plan it properly. You gain 30 block. You cannot gain block for... You cannot gain block from cards specifically for 2 turns. We also had the option of Panache. Every time you play 5 cards in a single turn, deal 10 damage to all enemies. That's a power. So a power, you play it, and then that effect is on you for the rest of combat. We have an Uppercut, we've seen that. Exhaust your whole hand, deal 7 damage for each card exhausted, and then it exhausts itself with Fiend Fire. Double Tap, this turn your next attack is played twice, which can be good. There are some attacks, specifically a Rampage for example, that benefit from this. It's nice. Most of the time it's not that great. Flex we've seen for strength, and Dark Embrace we've seen for exhausting cards. I think, now that we have some card draw in the form of Battle Trance, we do want that Flex for just that little bit of extra damage. And then, I think we actually want to buy a potion. Now, it's between a regen potion, which is 5 regen, at the start of your turn, heal that much, and then reduce the counter on regen by 1, so over 5 turns you heal for 5, 4, 3, 2, and finally 1. Which is quite a bit, to be completely honest. I think it comes up to 15? My math might be off on that. And then we have the Stilled Chaos, play the top 3 cards of your draw pile. We won't know what the top 3 cards are, but playing 3 cards at random from your deck, as long as your deck is nice, you're probably playing 3 decent cards. I'll take that. And I think with that, we are empowered to go to... Ooh, Shuriken. Every time you play 3 attacks in a single turn, gain 1 strength. Pretty nice. I think we are empowered enough to get this elite. The problem is we have 3 combats immediately after. I am predicting that I'm gonna die in this combat right here, because it's gonna be something nasty. It's gonna be the slimes again or something. We can die once, and we have a lot of potions, I think we take this. It's my good friend the Gremlin Knob. So the first turn he does nothing, and he's going to put a buff on himself that he gains strength every single time we play a skill. So we want to get our skills out of the way nice and early, and that's what we're going to do. Fantastic. We have a Bash and a Rampage to start off the fight with. Do we want... What's in our draw pile? We have a Carnage, we have a Defend, we have a Flex, Ghostly Armor, Strike, and Uppercut. So there's a decent chance that we get a Carnage, there's a decent chance that we get an Uppercut, and that we get a Flex. We don't have a lot of bad hits. The worst thing that could happen is 2 Defends and a Ghostly Armor. Everything else I'm okay with. That was almost exactly as I prescribed. Okay. I love this game sometimes. It does just want to punish me for existing. And we do get ourselves a nice little bit of strength. Fantastic. This man is almost dead. He's dealing 10 damage to me. I'm dealing 31 plus 10, that's 41. Does Flex push me over the edge because it's plus 4 damage, but then it's plus 50%, so it's plus 6 damage, so I'm at 41. No, I'm just gonna do it to see if my math is correct, but I think that leaves it with 1 health. It does. Okay, cool. We still got it. We still got the math. But thanks for giving me exactly 1 strike out of all of the things. Fossilized Helix. Very fun. Prevent the first time in a fight that you would lose HP. Fantastic card. A fantastic relic. Shrug it off for block. The Bandit. So the Bandit steals money from you every time they hit you, and then they run away. If you kill them before they run away, you get all your money back. So I think it's as simple as a Ghostly Armor and a Carnage. It's quite an interesting dynamic because you want him dead as quickly as possible, so you avoid as many attacks as possible. But at the same time, he's attacking you all the time, so it forces you to play some defenses. But thankfully, with the Fossilized Helix, we could just ignore that for a while. Pummel Strike, fantastic. 9 damage, 1 card. Great, no notes. 12 damage, 2 weak. Not as great as Uppercut, as you can probably tell. I mean, more damage, same amount of weak, same amount of vulnerable. It does upgrade to deal more damage and more weak, but it's just not that great. It's okay if you really don't have a lot of defense and you need something to tide you over. Which we kind of are in that situation. We've only got a Ghostly Armor and a Shrug It Off. But even then, I think Pommel Strike to draw into the defense that we do have, whilst continuing up our offense, is a better option. Okay. Well, that's annoying, isn't it? Because I cannot fully defend against this attack. So he will attack first. Yeah, he attacks first. And my Fossilized Helix, my buffer, if that's the status that it gives me, will defend for like 3 damage. And then 8 damage will come through from the slime. So I think we just deal as much damage as possible to the slime. And just deal with the fact that we're about to take 6 damage. Fantastic. Kill the slime. Apply vulnerable to the jaw worm. We always open the box first. That is an expression that I learned from watching Sneaky Teak. You always open the box. Which is, if you have draw in your... if you have draw in your hand, you don't want to play your draw last. You want to see all the options that you have first. And especially since we were always playing draw, there's no reason to not play it first. Because we want to see what our hand looks like. There are very few situations in which you do not open the box first. Flex is just nice. We just play it, it's free. Do we have the damage to kill here? 33 damage. I think. And then this is what, 12? Yeah, this has to be good, right? Yeah, fantastic. I'm not very good with math, but that seemed right to me. The only new thing here is Anger, deal 6 damage, and then add a copy of this to your discard pile, so it's a nice bit of damage, and then it just, if you play it too much, it pads out your deck to the point where you can't defend yourself anymore. It's nice in the first act, but we're getting towards the end of the first act, so it's fine. I'm fine with skipping it, is what I mean by that. We have Fungi Beasts, which on death will make me vulnerable, but I don't care about that, because I have a buffer. I think that an uppercut and a pommel is enough. Yes, it is. Offering! Offering, unfortunately, has anti-synergy with Foxalized Helix, which you lose 6 HP, gain 2 energy, and draw 3 cards, and then it exhausts itself. Fantastic. I mean, if you take no damage in that combat, you're still healing for 2, because you're healing for... Oh no, so it's net positive. It's neutral in terms of cost, which is fine. I thought we were healing for 8, but that's the other relic. So, fantastic. Now, why is this getting blocked by Foxalized Helix bad? Because we can block this effect for 6 HP on our turn, but on the next turn, guess what? The enemy is doing 35 damage. Would you rather block 6 damage or 35? I think that this is a fantastic card. It's very good. We might still take it, but I think for this deck, it's not great. Sword Boomerang, solid, especially now that we have a Shuriken. We have a way to make this scale infinitely. Fantastic. And then Seeing Red, gain 2 energy, exhaust. It's the younger sibling of Offering. I think we take the Sword Boomerang for the scaling. We take a bunch of damage. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Fantastic. And I do think, because again we can die once, and as long as we kill the boss, we receive a full heal. I think I'm fine with just upgrading a card, being greedy. Being a greedy little goblin. I think we upgrade the Shrug It Off. So this fight is the Guardian. You can see every single final boss will have a different symbol. This signifies the Guardian. It's a very defensive fight. You want to outlast the Guardian, not as much as you want to rush him down. And you'll see why. So, first turn, the Guardian is going to just defend itself. And then he is going to, on the next turn, deal a massive hit to us. But, mode shift. After receiving 30 damage, changes to a defensive mode. This cancels its turn. So, if we deal 30 damage to him, over the course of the combat, he will shift into a defensive mode, in which he will cancel whatever action he was doing, and he'll just gain a bunch of block. That's how you avoid the big hit. You don't want to defend through the big hit, you want to force him outward. And I think we just about have it. I will play a Battle Trance just in case. It gives us a flex, it's nice. We can maximize our damage by playing a Strike, reducing the counter to 1, which means that this entire hit will go through, instead of getting eaten by the block. We are losing Ghostly Armor, which isn't great. And now, every time we hit him, we take 3 damage. So we don't want to hit him. Now the big problem with that... Yes, it's not great, is it? I think that we let the buffer hit eat this one. But then our Carnage goes away, and our Carnage is a lot of our damage. Is that true? No. I think we let the Carnage go away. We take 0 damage. Hopefully this is a better defensive turn. It is not. Oh boy. Oh boy. Not only is it a bad defensive turn, it's also such a good offensive turn because we have 4 strength with a sword boomerang and a flex in our hands. Okay. I think we do this. Yeah, that's just about enough. Fantastic. On the first turn from getting back up, he increments his mode shift by 10, so we had to deal 30 damage, now we need to deal 40 for him to change again. And he always does a 20 damage attack in the form of a 5 times 4 attack. We want to defend to that as possible. We only take 1 damage, we increment our rampage, I'm happy with that, in exchange for 1 damage. Battle trance. We hit that uppercut. Do we mode shift him now? What's our next turn? Our next turn has the best chances of being defensive, so yes. And in fact, that's the correct choice. We increment the rampage, we take no damage. We get saved by Shrug It Off, fantastic. Battle trance again. Can we just send him back to defensive? No, we cannot. That's a pipe dream. I think defense and a strike. Fantastic. We have uppercut into a massive, and I mean massive rampage. It's dealing 40 damage. Now we just need to deal 12 damage to you. And I think we got it. We take a little bit of damage in return, we heal a little bit, but we're going to get a full heal anyway, because it's Ascension 0. At the end of every single boss fight, you receive... Your choice of cards is always rare cards, which are the golden ones. Which, most of them, are quite good. Corruption. Skills cost 0 whenever you play a skill, exhausted. That isn't as scary as it sounds. That is actually amazing. Brutality. At the start of your turn, lose 1 HP and draw 1 card. If we had that other power, that every time we lose HP to a card we gain 1 strength, this one instead reads, lose 1 HP, gain 1 strength, draw 1 card at the start of every single turn, which is ridiculous. And then we have Feed, which is deal 10 damage. If this kills a non-minion enemy, so a enemy that has not been summoned by another enemy, raise your max HP by 3. You also immediately heal that 3. Anytime your max HP raises, you gain that much current HP as well. Feed is fantastic. Especially since we don't have a lot of defensive options. Just having the ability to take a lot of damage because we have a lot of HP. Great. No notes. And then the other reward you get is a relic. Now, boss relics are unique relics that you only get here, and they often give you... They are often game-changing. You'll see. So, we have gain 1 more energy at the start of every turn. You can no longer rest, so you can no longer gain health by sleeping at the campfire. Not great, but actually not that bad. It's really not that scary. Especially since we are the Ironclad, and we heal anyway, and we have other ways of healing in... Not in this deck, but just generally speaking, in the broader range of what the character can do. Not bad. Coffee Dripper is not bad, I promise. Empty Cage, remove 2 cards from your deck. It's whatever, you know? If you have 2 cards that you really want to remove, then it's good. It makes your deck thinner, it makes your deck more consistent. You're drawing better cards more often. It's good. But it's probably not what we're taking. What we are taking. Snecko Eye. At the start of your turn, draw 2 additional cards. Big. Start each combat confused. Confused means whenever you draw a card, randomize its cost. Now it randomizes between 0 and 3. As a theme you'll notice in our deck is that a random number between 0 and 3 is actually better because it can be 0, a 1, or a 2. If it's a 2, for the bash, for the carnage, for the uppercut, then Snekawai just gave us card draw. If it's a 1, it gave us card draw and 1 energy. If it's a 0, it gave us card draw and 2 energy. And the downside, if it's 3, it has cost us 1 energy. It might have made the card unplayable. I will not downplay that much. But it is fantastic. The one problem I have with it is that we do have a battle trance, which on average gets worse. We do have a flex, which on average gets worse. But I think that it's good enough to take. And look at that, full heal. Okay, Act 2, the city. Our final boss is something called the Champion. He is a big boy that you want to get to half HP, and then once he's at half HP, you want to just finish him off. So you want to either outscale him, or you want to quickly kill him. That's your two options. If you leave him alive past half HP, it's not good for you. Okay, and he has like 420 HP, I think. So looking through the paths, we have a 3 elite path here, here, and here. These 3 are all connected. And we do visit a shop. Yeah, I think that's our path right there. We go fight, fight, shop, fight, fight, elite. The one problem with it, we have some flexibility, I guess. We can go to this rest site and make it a 2 elite path, or if we are really unconfident, we can... Yeah, I like this path. Let's do it. Alright. So, you'll start to see some of the positives and some of the negatives here. Sword Boomerang, 0 energy, and a bunch of damage. Fantastic! Defend! Defend has just become a good card. Look at that. Flex has become a terrible card. Oh, I love Snekawai. Okay. I think that our turn is fully offensive here. So we go Carnage, we go Sword Boomerang, and we go Rampage. We of course avoid that first hit, but look at this. Shrug it off. 0 mana, draw a card. It's a bad card. It's an objectively bad card, but we drew it. Pommel Strike, 0 energy, draw a card. It's a bad card. Listen, it's a work in progress, okay? I think that honestly, we want to deal the. I was acting as if Battle Trance was a 0 cost. The muscle memory. Fuck. I was gonna say, I think we bash and then hope to draw a bunch of 0 costs, but that's not happening, is it? Okay. Now, ladies. I think we're not too afraid of taking some damage here. This will kill, which we don't want. This will not kill, which we do want. We want to get the feed up. And I think taking 7 damage is not too bad for a feed. Fantastic. So we took 7 damage. We are now going to heal 3 of that. And then we heal 6 of that. Fantastic. We took 1 damage. Hummel. Very good card if you have a lot of strength. It just deals a bunch of damage and then exhausts itself. Great vehicle for strength. No notes. Anger we've seen, Close Line we've seen. I think we have too much offense already. Hummel is not gonna make our deck better. It is just going to make it more aggressive, which we don't necessarily need. Okay, we have the birds, which are infamous in Slay the Spire. So every single turn, they will either hit you with a multi-attack, they will gain strength, which is what they are doing, which makes the multi-attack much, much worse for you, of course. Or they're going to deal 1 big hit, which, it's whatever. Now the big problem with this is that he's going to deal 1 damage, that's going to eat the buffer, and then I'm going to still take 4 damage anyway. Unless we put him on the ground. So let's go with a Pummel Strike to draw a card. Let's go with this. Oh man, do I do it? I kind of want to do it. So they receive 50% less damage. They are put on the ground if they take damage 3 times in a single turn. This doesn't mean attack cards played on them, it just means damage that they've taken. So a sword boomerang hitting them 3 times would count. If they're on the ground, they get stunned, so they don't do anything. What I'm considering is I could deal a pittance of damage right now and put them on the ground, guaranteed. Or I could do this and hope and get... okay. I deserve that. I deserve that. I was hoping for a 0-cost attack so that I could continue dealing damage anyway. But that didn't happen, unfortunately. We have a 0-mana Rampage, which is great. We have a 0 attack. We have a strike as well. Fantastic. Shrug it off to draw a card, and it's unplayable. Great. I mean, Battle Trance is a 0, so we're always playing that, right? Yeah. Rampage and Feed. And then we can't draw with Shrug It Off, but it does block 10 damage. Well, it blocks 11, but yeah, it'll block the 10 from here. Yeah, I think that, and an uppercut on him. For that weak. Yeah, that was 4 damage. Not a lot at all. Ugh. Not the greatest turn, I will admit. Pummel Strike him to draw something good, maybe? Yeah, I mean, what were the chances? 1 in 4. Should I have taken a 1 in 4? No. Fantastic, Sword Boomerang. Then we have this into Rampage, and they're dead. Liquid Bronze would have been an amazing thing to have on that fight. Anytime you receive attack damage, deal 3 damage back. Feel no pain. Whenever a card is exhausted, gain 3 block. It's good. We don't have the deck for it right now. But it's good. Dual wield, an attacker power, add a copy of that card into your hand. So if we had Feel No Pain and Dual Wield, we now have 2 Feel No Pains, is basically what that means. We can just copy cards in our deck that we like. I think Feel No Pain is still good. It's some defense, even if we have to build into it. Okay, some interesting choices. Blood for Blood costs 1 less for every HP you lose this combat, and deals 18 damage. This... I believe that with Snecko, if you take 4 damage throughout the combat, if you take damage 4 times throughout the combat, this remains a 0 cost? I'm not sure. We have Pommel Strike, Warcry, Combust. At the end of your turn, lose 1 HP and deal 5 damage to all enemies. Some nice AoE. Then our relics are... We heal more when we rest, which isn't great. We have, on pickup, choose an attack, start each combat with a card in your hand. It's not as good as it seems, because you still draw that card. So you don't draw your 7 original cards from Snecko, and then that attack is added onto your hand. No, that attack is guaranteed to be one of the 7. In fact, it is the first of the 7 all the time. So it still eats into your draw. We do have more draw, which I'm fine with it getting eaten. Especially if we put like a Rampage in there. Just to get it started off that much sooner in combat. But even then, it's not great. Prismatic Shard. Combat rewards now contain colorless and cards from other colors. So this will just... Every single character in the game, I'll start seeing their cards as well. For the sake of this being the first video, in a beginner-friendly series, I am not taking it. Now, Apotheosis and Finesse, gain 2 block, draw 1 card, it's fine. Apotheosis, upgrade all cards for the rest of combat. This is fantastic. I think we always take this, and we have enough for this and a card removal. So that's our play. Remove another strike because they're stinky. Fantastic. Pleasure doing business. Oh, I mean, you love to see it, don't you? So I think Feel No Pain we play first. Apotheosis we play after, gaining 3 block. And everything is upgraded, and everything is 0 cost. The 0 cost is unrelated to the upgrade, but still. I mean... And here's the thing, like... Now, at rest sites, we can just rest. Apotheosis is just that good. We really don't need to do anything else. We maybe upgrade our powers because we are still going to play them before Apotheosis, as you saw. A lot of defense. Love to see it. Oh yeah, this guy. He puts a debuff on you. Sorry, I didn't realize we hadn't seen him yet. He puts a debuff on you that adds those days to your draw pile anytime you play... Is it... Yeah, anything that is not an attack. So skills and powers. I think we uppercut you. The thing with those dazes is that they are ethereal. They burn themselves out. They exhaust. Anytime that we draw these, it's just 3 block for us. So right now we have 9 block that we don't see. Unfortunately, we can't do much with that block, so we're just going to be a full offensive turn. And hopefully we get the ability to kill here with a feed. I said hopefully we have the ability to kill here with a feed. I said hopefully we have the ability to kill here with a feed. Fuck! Fuck's sake. We don't even have the ability to kill! Oh no! This is just bad. Oops, all bad. Okay. Ow. Okay. Hopefully we have the ability to kill here with a feed. Am I annoying? Hopefully we have the ability to kill here with a fucking feed! Thank you. Headbutt! Fantastic. We've gone over the other two. Yes, we have. Headbutt, pre-upgraded, which is nice, I guess. Deal 12 damage. Put a card from your discard pile on top of your draw pile. This is very good with Rampage. And it's also very good with setting up anything else. You know, like, oh, my big defense card. I had to play it last turn, but this is but I know that it's gonna be another big defense turn next turn. I can just do this. That card is now back in my draw pile, and it's at the top. It's here. We don't see it in order, obviously. There is a relic that lets you see it in order, but this is the card we're gonna draw next turn, guaranteed. So, fantastic. That means that next turn, we should have some good defense, and hopefully it won't cost 3 again. It costs 0! I mean, 0 for 10 block. I'll take that deal. Would you take that deal? Goddamn right I'd take that deal. Oof. Apotheosis is very expensive. However, they also aren't doing anything this turn. Cacaw indeed. Ugh. Now this is just bad. Pommel strike and hopefully draw something better. Yeah, okay, great. That would kill it. Yeah, because they're doing a lot of multi-attacks, I think we just take the damage. He'll die attacking me. We get a bash, we get a rampage, fantastic. Oh, this is just bad. Okay. Feel no pain. And sword boomerang, I guess. It's not great. But we block some of it. Okay, we don't need to block anything. Our feed has gone by, hasn't it? No. Okay. Maybe we get the feed? Okay. That deals 13 damage. Fantastic. We are never punished for our mistakes. Corruption, now that we have a funeral pain, is just good as well. I still think it's a bit too much. Apotheosis on turn 1, we love to see it. I think I'm gonna need to play an attack. Sorry, a power potion. It gives us an option between 3 powers and they'll cost 0 when we play them. I think Barricade block is not removed at the start of your turn, and we just start blocking, because that's what they're doing as well. So this is the gremlin leader. He has 2 gremlins in front of him. If we kill him, he will then resummon them. And the objective is, of course, we kill them so that he's not doing this bullshit. This 9x3 attack. Okay. 9x3, I know my math. That is blocked by this, I believe. I know my tables. Do I? Yes, I do. Fantastic. Rampage on you. Fantastic. Uppercut. Gain a strength. Great. He is now summoning. 25% chance of that attack happening. After he summons, he has a 25% chance of doing this, or a 75% chance of doing a buff. He decided to attack me, of course. Okay. Yeah, we can't draw from it, but it's fine. Almost strike into that. Into sword boomerang, gaining a strength. No, I think it's a 50-50 him attacking because he has a boy on the field. We always play rampage. High chance of him just summoning. Yep, great. This is good. I should have played the block because I got barricade up. I'm not playing optimally right now. Do we risk it? Yeah, because nothing else really kills, so... Oh, okay. Okay. We might get the speed off. I'm gonna stay my hand for the feed, and we're never punished. Once he dies, because they're minions, they go away. Centennial Puzzle. First time you lose HP each combat, don't forget to draw 3 cards. Not bad. All of these are new. Searing Blow can be upgraded any number of times, which with Apotheosis is okay. You know, it means that we can, every single campfire can be for Searing Blow, which is obviously how you want to play it. Because I believe that it's a bit exponential, isn't it? I'm not sure how exponential it is, actually. Power Through. 2 wounds to your hand, gain 15 block. Wounds are unplayable cards. On its own, not great, but with things that exhaust the cards, it's good, such as Burning Pact. Exhaust a card, draw 2 cards. And then it upgrades into 3 cards. This is nice. We like card draw, and we like removing useless cards. So we can either give them 85 gold, or we can fight them because we have a rest coming up, I think I'm happy fighting them. And because we have potions. If we fight them, it's a tough fight, but we get the red mask guaranteed, which is every single combat, every enemy gets a week applied. This, obviously, is also, if an enemy has relic, it's very good, because it just eats the relic away. Okay. Feel no pain for 0. Easiest decision in my life. Is this a kill? So with this it's 10. 15. No. Okay. I am right? No, it's 18. Why is it 18? I'm confused. So on the first turn, he just shouts, and then Bear grabs you. You lose 2 dexterity, which means your block cards are 2 points less effective. Ghostly armor, great. Burn, 3 cost defend. Apotheosis costing 3 is going to kill me. But we play it. We get the feed on top. Because next turn, we maybe can feed on Pointy here. Who's dealing the most damage? So 25% out of 5 is what, like 2? So he's dealing. I reduce 4 damage from him. 25%. I think it's you. I think it would have been Pointy actually. I think I blocked 3 instead of 4, but we shall see. We live and learn. Okay. I think we burned the battle plans, to be honest. Deal some damage to Romeo. Uppercut into headbutt, into an uppercut next turn, into a rampage, into a defend plus. Fantastic. No damage. 0 cost for that, 0 cost for that. Fantastic. It gives me a bunch of garbage. What's in the box? A bunch of garbage, apparently. Great. So we're still defended because that burns away, giving us more defense from Feel No Pain. Great. Rampage seals the deal. Red Mask. 1 week to all enemies at the start of combat. Fear Potion. Whenever a card is exhausted, draw 1 card is good. Sever Soul, exhaust all non-attacks, deal 16 damage. I think it's Dark Embrace. Ah, this fight is fun. So we have a Knight, and we have the Centurion and the Mystic, I should say. So this is a healer, this is damage dealer. If you deal enough damage to him, he just defends, which is a lot of fun, actually. I love it when my enemies just defend and don't attack me, because I'm weak. And my body is very fragile. It's just 0 cost city over here. We had a rampage already, didn't we? Yes. Fantastic. I mean, he's basically dead. Why didn't I... I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. I want to talk about it. Nothing happened. Look, there's not... What happened on the screen? Nothing. Metallicize, it's a power. At the end of your turn, gain 3 block. It is incredibly mediocre, to be honest. So, no thank you. Happy Flower! Every 3 turns, gain an extra energy. Not bad. Oh no. Now, here's a fight that can kill us. So the Book of Stabbing deals... I think it's 6 damage but it's reduced to 4 because we applied weak 2 times. And the next turn, he deals 6 damage 3 times. And then the turn after that, he deals 6 damage 4 times. And then 5 times. And then 6 times. And then where the fuck is my health? So that's kind of what this fight does. I think we need to play the Rampage, don't we? Yeah, unfortunately. Do we want to use an energy potion to play a Carnage? I think the energy potion has to be used in a moment in which it's pure bludge. Yes, it is 6 damage, look at that. Okay, 18 damage. That's not enough. That will only block for a little bit. So I think we just let it happen. Okay, this could be a turn. So we apply Vulnerable. We are going to Burning Pact the Uppercut. Not great. I'm going to Pommel Strike. Could be better, could be worse. And then hopefully we draw some defense. We don't, of course. Oh! Okay. We flex. Sword Boomerang, how much damage do you do? Okay, not bad, not bad, not bad. I might be coping, but I think we're good. I think Blood Potion saves me from dying here? I think so. Yes, it does. Great. And then you know we're gonna greed a little bit for the feed, right? I mean, shit, man, it's free real estate. Never punished. Incredible. Bronze Scales, you always have 3 thorns. Fantastic. Distilled Chaos, we've seen that before. Cleave, we've seen that before, but it's great. True Grit, fantastic defensive option. I think I'll take it. This boy, every time he takes damage, he will gain 3 defense. And then I believe it's 6 defense, and then 9 defense, and just... You can't one-shot him with multiple attacks, is essentially what he does. Pommel Strike first, because it's free. Okay. Uppercut second. I place my defense in attack position, and end my turn. Okay. Shrug it off. And a defend, I believe, is full defense, right? No, it's not. It's one off. It's one off. It's one off? It's one off. Okay. Well, you're just no fun, are you? Do we Distilled Chaos to avoid my buffer being eaten by 1 damage? Our next fight is an elite. I want that buff. I want that Distilled Chaos for that elite fight because, of course, I'm gonna take it. He's a really pig. I think we never punished. You know what? I've ran the numbers and I think we're never punished. I think we've been punished. No, we're good. We're never punished. That's 21, but it's fine. And then we feed, because we're never punished. What did I tell you? Alright, Inferno Blade. Add a random attack into your hand. It costs 0 this turn. There could be anything in this card. There could even be a good card, which I could have taken instead of Inferno Blade. It's not great. Thunderclap. Deal 4 damage and apply 1 vulnerable to all enemies. It's good. It's solid. Is it solid enough for us? Not really. It's okay. But I think with Snecko it's not great. And you know what? I think we just play this. See what happens. Look at that. Great. That's a dead man on turn 1. Well, it should be a dead man on turn 1, hopefully. Hell yeah. And then we avoid 5 damage. Great. So this is the Slavers fight. The guy at the back can immobilize you, making it so that you can't play attacks. He also applies vulnerable to you. The guy in the middle, it's the Taskmaster. He puts a bunch of wounds in your deck, which we've seen. And this guy applies weak, I believe. So all in all, they are just nasty, nasty debuff people, and we don't like them because they're stinky. Okay, this is Pommel Strike, I believe. Yeah. Unfortunately, goodbye feed, but it's fine. Because it comes back on this turn. I said because it comes back on this turn. I said because it comes back on this turn. Fuck! I didn't actually believe it was going to come back on this turn. But I think we're never punished, right? Oh no. It would appear we are being punished. I think 2 energy, rampage, feed. Great. So the thing I should have done there is I should have believed that feed was going to come, and I should have hit the Pommel Strike on the guy in the middle. But it's fine. Demon form! At the start of your turn, gain 2 strength. It's not as good as it sounds, but I don't think it's as bad as it sounds either. So like, if you're on the side that thinks that this is very good, it's 3 mana to do nothing. And then next turn, you're gonna gain 2 strength, which really isn't a lot. And then turn after is when this becomes a net positive, I say. So it's not great. However, if you're on the side that thinks that this is a bad card, it's also inevitability, you know? On a defensive deck, which, granted, we are not running, this says, as long as you have 1 strike in your deck, win the game. Which, it's great. It's good. It's solid. Okay? It's neither of those extremes. It's an okay card. I think I'm gonna skip. Am I? I just realized I have Snecko Eye. So on average, this is actually... Yeah, no, this is good. Never mind. You know what? I take back everything I said. Demon Form is the single best card in the entire game, and anyone that thinks otherwise is a coward. I don't actually mean that. I love you all equally. Even if you're objectively wrong. Great. I think we headbutt. Headbutt and put a Carnage back. Demon Form! 0 mana! Next turn gain 3 strength, this scales infinitely? Come on, all the haters, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? That is exactly how that card reads, and no changes were done whatsoever to skew the view or anything like that. Don't worry about it. Okay, Dark Embrace whenever a card is exhausted. Okay. So what's coming my way? 16 is coming my way, but I am defended because of the dice, so I think I will play that. Ooh, this might be the big feast turn. It sure is. Yum. We've seen all of these before. Taking another Sword Boomerang now that we have a Demon Form is nice, so I'll take it. It's good scaling against the champ. Oh my god, this event goes between save files? So in this event, a note for yourself. You put a card in here, and then on a different run, even if it's a different character, you can find that card. You can tell that I've used it to remove a card instead, because I put an Iron Wave in it. So no thank you. Apotheosis upgrade does nothing, because it reduces its cost, but the cost is randomized. So, it's fine. I think we even upgrade the demon form. I'm sorry, haters, but I think it's the correct choice. Because look at that! We draw it on turn 1 for 0 cost! We are now infinitely scaling against the champion. It's... come on! I promise, I understand that demon form is not that great of a card, but in this deck, my goodness, is it good. "52 damage with 1 sword boomerang on turn 3. It's a little bit good. Oh look, he's letting us do it again. And we'll do it again next turn, why not? Next turn, why not do it now? Okay, he's now at half health, which means that next turn he's gonna buff himself. Do we care about him buffing himself? Not particularly. So we have the uppercut. We have that. We have this. We have a little bit of this. My goodness. And now he's gonna start dealing big hits. Look at that. 27 times 2. But how about, and have you considered this, 15 times 4 instead? Gain 2 vulnerable at the start of your turn, gain an energy. So, you temporarily debuff yourself. If you do this on a turn in which the enemies aren't doing anything, then it's basically just 1 vulnerable. I believe that it reduces to 1 vulnerable, yeah. So, an upgraded version of this on a turn that the enemies aren't attacking you, it's just a free energy relic with no downsides. It's solid. I'm not going to take it, because we have the Snecko Eye, and this being 0 costs a lot of its appeal, and it can only get worse than 0. Fiendfire, exhaust your hand, deal 7 damage for each card exhausted, and then exhaust. I think it's solid now, you know? I think it's just solid. Black Blood, not that good. It's an upgrade to our relic, so it doubles the amount that it heals. It's not that good. Because healing 6 at the start of the game when you have nothing is fantastic. And then it gets worse, obviously. Healing... so this is just healing an extra 6. That's what... you have to evaluate it by that. This just reads heal 6. That's the upgrade you're getting. Healing 6, when you already have an established deck, and the enemies are not... you know, you're not taking chip damage anymore. Whenever you fuck up now, you're taking 20 damage. Healing 6 out of 20 is really not that good. Astrolabe for transforming some cards. Might transform my strikes. So transform is just it becomes a random card of any rarity. Or we have Cursed Key. Whenever you open a non-boss chest, obtain a curse. We are guaranteed to get 1 more chest, so this is a guarantee of 1 curse, unless we skip the chest. I don't think we skip the chest. There's very few occasions in which we actually skip the chests. So, let's transform. We don't need more energy. We got Snecko Eye for that. Did I just see 2 Juggernauts? Fantastic. Juggernaut Plus. Whenever you gain block, deal 7 damage to a random enemy in the form of a power. Great. What's the other thing that I gained? Was it a cleave? It was a cleave, wasn't it? Yes. Okay, not bad. Those 3 cards are objectively better than the strikes. And here we are in the final act. We're going up against the Awakened, I believe it's his name. The Awakened has 2 phases, both of them with a huge amount of HP. When you, in the first phase, anytime you play a power, he gains strength. And then the second phase does a bunch of multi-attacks, so it kind of prevents you from playing your powers too much. Unless you are a straight-up baller and you don't care. which I think we might be in this particular run. Furthermore, I think, looking at this, enemy, event, shop, when we'll probably have about 400 gold, so that's a good amount to go to the shop with. Enemy, elite, question mark. If this elite fucks us up, rest into a bunch of fights, more shops, great. If this elite is a pushover, second elite, shop again, less rests, but really not that bad. Ah, these boys. So these boys are linked. They can only die when all of them die. So you can reduce them to 0, but they will revive in 2 turns unless everyone else dies, is basically how that goes. First move, full defense. And then, I don't even want to play the Carnage, I want it to go away from my deck. Just deal some random damage here and there. Demon form for 2 mana is not bad. How much am I defended for? Okay, I'm not defended for much. I think we still demon form. We sword boomerang, and then we fiend fire whoever's weakest. That's good enough for me. We take some damage, but hail. Okay, that's an easy cleave. Card is exhausted, fantastic. Yeah. So we can't feed, because it will not technically be lethal. So we can only feed when there's only one guy remaining. Where are we getting an extra energy from? Ah, Happy Flower, yes. Fantastic. There we go, we're full independent. Ghostly Armor, easy play. True Grit, the flex. I think random damage maybe kills someone. Not quite. Do we take some damage here? We take... Oh, no, we don't. Great. And then we can potentially even feed on the last guy, so we shall live in... Yeah, we shall live in hope. No such luck. How much damage is this? It's a bit too much. I do want to be a greedy little pig and go for the feed. I think it's guaranteed, right? Yeah, it's guaranteed. Oh no, the spikes, the thorns. We've seen all these before, none of them appeal. Clothesline is a bit better now that the cost is randomized, but even then. I say that. Yeah, you know what? 3 weak, that's a fair bit of defense. And we do need defense. That is the one thing that is going to kill us. We don't have enough defense. Yet. So we have the orbs fight, I guess? We have a repulsor, which is basically just what the first elite fight we did does. We fought does, which is puts 2 dazed into your deck. We have the Spiker, which attacks you and also constantly gains more and more thorns, and we have this boy, which explodes after a certain amount of time, dealing a whole bunch of damage. So obviously we want to get rid of that one first. With a Battle Trance drawing us, nothing. Never mind. I think a Barricade would go hard on this one. I think a Barricade would guarantee that we don't care. Juggernaut is nice. He's going to explode this turn, but thankfully we have that. Yeah, a Barricade, I think, would just guarantee that we don't need to care about in the final boss playing our powers. Great. Deal that damage. Oh, right, we gain block. Yeah, of course. Yes. Our feed is not going great now that we're passively killing the enemies. Reckless Charge. Shuffle a dice into your draw pile. It's okay. It has some synergy now because we want things that exhaust. Cleave we've seen, Dual Wield we've seen, Bloodletting we've seen, Metallicize we've seen. Master of Strategy is just very nice, but not for this deck because we got Snecko-Eye. Funnily enough, it's fantastic for Snecko-Eye, but it's also awful for Snecko-Eye because it draws 3 cards, 3 random costs. Great. It itself is a 0 cost, which will get randomized into being objectively worse. Not great. Little water break. If you're watching this, it has been an hour and a half. Please drink some water. Then we have this always starts in your hand, 0 damage, 0 mana, 8 damage to everyone. It's nice. Meal ticket whenever you enter a shop, heal. It's not great anymore. Darkstone, whenever you obtain a curse, increase your max HP. Again, not great now because we're getting towards the end of the game. Frozen Eye, when viewing your draw pile, the cards are now shown in order. I don't know how this works with the deck tracker, and I kind of want to find out. So this relic is extremely powerful, because if you know exactly when you're going to draw everything in your deck, then you have perfect control over the fight. You might still lose because you don't have the resources required to actually, you know, utilize that control, but you do have perfect control of the fight. Oh, that wasn't even the shop. That means we can just take fights now. Ah, the transient. We might actually kill him. So you aren't supposed to kill this guy. He immediately dies in 5 turns. He deals an insane amount of damage. The way that you prevent this is... Does it say on here? Yes, shifting. Upon losing HP, lose that much strength. So I think that he's dealing a 50 damage right now, but obviously he's weakened, so it's reduced. If we deal 50 damage to him, he deals 0, because he has minus 50 strength. So the more damage he takes, the less damage he deals. I think that this is good, right? Is it good, he says. Yes. Hi, I would like to answer the question. Yes. Let's attack the Carnage. Rug it off. Okay, great. Okay, I don't think it's I don't think this is a nutty enough deck to kill this thing. There's actually an achievement for killing him. It's definitely a good enough deck to not get killed by him, which I'm happy to learn. I mean, we dealt 153 damage to him on that one, so it is kind of nasty, isn't it? He dies next turn. Can we deal 600 damage in 1 turn? I highly doubt it. Shrug it off for the draw. Clothesline. Rampage. Let's just exhaust a card and see what happens. Hey, look at that. Not bad. I think if we had Limit Break, which is a one-use card that doubles your strength, we would have had it. Because we would have been able to play it multiple times, and obviously it's exponential. Only new one is Body Slam. Deal damage equal to your block. In some decks, this is fantastic, especially since it upgrades to be 0 cost. Which obviously doesn't affect us right now because of Snecko-Eye, but that's beside the point. So, this allows you to just play defensive and still deal damage. So that's another type of build for the Ironclad. The deck we have is very offensive. You can have extremely defensive decks with the Ironclad as well. And they are to some degree viable. I mean, yeah, why not? I don't think I burned anything super important there. Okay. Clothesline reduces that. Battle trance, what do you have? You have a 1-cost demon form, which is nice. Chaos, what do you have? Yes, put that in. Not the best, not the worst. Zero-cost battle trance is definitely getting played. Zero-cost clothesline. Apotheosis is. Then this. Fantastic. That Juggernaut is silently doing a lot of damage, which I quite like. Every time we gain block, it's just 7 damage. It is very much a silent killer. Wow! I'm glad he's not doing anything, because neither am I! Put a burning pack back on top. Please don't cost 500 energy. You don't. Great. Burn the battle trance because we're getting towards the end of the fight. As exemplified by the fight ending. And we get our Distilled Chaos back. Great. Brutality. At the start of your turn, lose 1 HP and draw 1 card. I think that this is just solid right now. Because drawing cards is good for us. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, we have Nemesis. So, he puts a bunch of burns in your deck. He deals a bunch of multi-attacks. And then every other turn, he can only take 1 damage per instance of damage. So our Sword Boomerang would deal 1 damage 4 times. Our Uppercut would deal 1 damage, 2 weak to vulnerable. You get the deal there. I put the Uppercut back on top because I want to keep debuffing him. I was hoping it would cost less. No such luck. We'll just take that damage. Or we won't, psych! Okay, so we have Brutality. Brutality does... Like, we don't want to play it before we block an attack, but I think it's nice. I did fail to express that. Okay, how the fuck do we get the feed off here? By drawing. By drawing a Rampage. Great. Warpaint, upon pickup, upgrade 2 random skills. Twin Strike. Solid. Not for this deck, I don't think. Shrug it off. More defense is always nice. More draw. I'll take that. And then that will get upgraded. Look at that. I was about to say it. I was going to say it before I clicked it. But I didn't want to seem like a fool. But I'm a fool now. We have full health. We're going to heal anyway. We take this event. It's, you can get a random colorless card, or you can get 2 and take some damage, or you can take 3 and take some damage. So, one thing you need to learn as well, when you're looking through multiple card rewards, you can skip, and it's still there. And it will remain the same ones, because you've seen them already. So, Dramatic Entrance, Forethought, Panic Button. We've seen these 2. Put a card from your hand on the bottom of the draw pile. It costs 0 until played. It's not great. Purity. Exhaust up to 3 cards in your hand. Okay. 6 block for 0. Pretty good. Shuffle your discard pile into your draw pile. The problem here is that they all cost 0. Mayhem? Man, why you gotta do that to me? So Swift Strike. Deal damage for 0. Flash of Steel, deal a little bit less damage and draw 1 card for 0 as well. Mayhem, at the start of your turn, play the top card of your draw pile for no cost. The main problem here is, if this plays a feed, we hate it. If this plays anything else, we love it. Now, if this plays a Fiend Fire, and we have a feed in our hand, we hate it. We never get punished, chat. We never get punished. Don't worry about it. Look at that. Just go for it. Great. So this is the Reptomancer. She summons a bunch of daggers. The daggers deal a little bit of damage and put a wound in your deck. And then on the second turn, they deal a whole bunch of damage and die in the process. And the Reptomancer herself, as you can see, has multi-attacks. We draw both of our Shrugodoffs immediately after the battle trance. Is not great. I think we uppercut that to reduce the damage. I think we have lethal here with the dagger. Yes, we do. We only block a little bit of damage. Yeah, we only block one, which isn't great. But oh well. Was that just a batch? I think it was. Great. Why not? Thanks. Bunch of damage. Bunch of damage times 2. Bunch of damage times 3. Feel no pain. Why not? And now it's the race to find the feed. It played the battle trance. Okay, great. I'm not. I don't feel bad about that. It's great. Oh shit. Whenever you enter a rest site, start the next combat with 2 energy. So this is only on the turn 1. Armaments, which is the smaller apotheosis. Gain 5 block, upgrade a card in your hand for the rest of combat. You get to choose a card. On the upgrade, you still only gain 5 block, but upgrade all cards in your hand for the rest of combat. It's a good card, as long as you don't have apotheosis, which is a better card. Whenever you play a power card, a random card in your hand costs 0 that turn. This is fantastic with Sneckoeye. It's a good relic just in general, but with Sneckoeye it's even greater because, let's say, Brutality. Reduce the cost of Bash to 0. Dark... Oh. I was about to say Dark Embrace gets reduced by the demon form, but it doesn't. It's okay, don't worry about it. We want to get the guy in the back because he deals the most damage out of anyone. The Brutality did take away our thing, unfortunately. But it's okay, because we're never punished. We've been punished. Apotheosis is a skill, not a power, I will note. Juggernaut is a power. Oh, you can't make me choose like that. You can't make me choose like that. Fine. The choice there was get the feed off or kill the Spheric Guardian. And you saw which one we chose. Okay. Sure. Throw it off again. Great. Defense again. Great. True Grit. Okay. I'll skip. Ah, because we have the red mask at this event, we can gain a whole bunch of gold. Immediately before a shop as well. Reaper. Okay. Reaper. Deal 4 damage to all enemies. Heal HP equal to unblocked damage. We often find ourselves with 10 strength. In a combat that has 1 enemy, this is a 14 heal. In a combat with 2 enemies, this is a 28 heal. In a combat with 3 enemies, which we are guaranteed to get because we're going up against the Awakened, and it's a 3 enemy combat, that's just free healing, babe. Okay. In fact, I think it's enough free healing that we take Dolly's Mirror, which is duplicate a card in your deck, and we just hit the Reaper again. Our other options were Blood Vial at the start of each combat, heal 2 HP. It's okay. It's better on characters that aren't the Ironclad, because the Ironclad already gets a better version of this in their passive. Every other character, though, this is just nice. Juzu Bracelet. No longer encounter combats in question mark rooms. Panache we've seen. We've seen everything else. I think we take another Distilled Chaos, to be completely honest with you. This first run is going incredibly well. Now, is it because I'm amazing at this game? No. But you are free to think that if you want to. In fact, I will thank you if you do. Okay, we want to weaken him. Alright, they're already weakened. This is the damage I'm taking as well. Whoops. As I was saying, I am amazing. We can pommel into a feed. I'm gonna be honest. It's not that I didn't. Fuck! Listen, we don't need to talk about it. We don't need to talk about it. We don't need to talk about it. Stop talking about it. I see you down there in the comments. Stop talking about it right now. You might be thinking, we just took a bunch of damage for nothing. It's fine. Don't worry about it. We have at least that card. My goodness. Yeah, heal again. And then we take a little bit of damage, but it's fine. Listen, I don't want to talk about it. I just want to get my feedback. I miss her so much. I just want to get... I just fucking want her back, man. Okay. All of this deals a bunch of damage. Shrug it off. Give me a zero cost speed. Damn you. We are too strong right now. Thank you. Hey, regen potion. Hell yeah. Pummel is now just a very nice form of multi-damage. I think we already have too many nice forms of multi-damage though. Ah, this boy. Zero cost apotheosis at the start. So the Spire Growth does a bunch of damage to you, and then I think on the second turn he puts a debuff on you, which is every turn you take 10 damage anyway. So you just have to block an extra 10 every single turn. Oof, that's a nice demon form. But it costs too much. Yeah, as you can see, the base version of demon form is too clunky to use. Brutality for 3 cost. Remove my buffer? How could I resist that? Go away. Yeah, Battle Trance. Dark Embrace. Defense, Clothesline, and another defend. Fantastic. I want to play the Mayhem, but I don't want to play the Mayhem because it's just gonna play feed, and I'm gonna feel sad about it. You can use the Reaper to heal. We let those 2 burn to get some draw. We are now constricted. We take 10 damage at the start of... At the end of our turns, sorry. Six, 7. That deals more than 10 damage. This deals more than 10 damage. This doesn't deal more than 10 damage. We now have 5, so this is 50. Yike. The council has looked at this situation and allocated the case a singular yike. We do draw, which is nice. I think we have to kill. Yeah, it's... If we mess around too much with that thing, we're just gonna lose the game. Alright. So, the question here is, what am I always playing, even if I haven't played Apotheosis yet? Feel No Pain is a great candidate for that, so I'm gonna upgrade that. And now the final fight. Hey look! It's 3 enemies! I hope no one brought a Reaper to this fight. Let's talk for them. Is it wise to give him a bunch of strength? Not really. But it's fine, don't worry about it. We're never punished. We burn both of the Reapers, which, you know, defeats the whole thing of us bringing it here, but hey, it's fine, don't worry about it. At least now we can play the Mayhem in peace. Okay, we should be scaling a bit quicker than this guy anyway. Yeah, I mean, it's no comparison. Alright, he gets down to 0 HP, and then he doesn't do anything. And neither can we now, because we don't have a target anymore. Okay, now we weaken you. Battle transfer a bunch of cards. Juggernaut reduces the cost of something, not the something we needed. It's fine. We don't have our buffer anymore, do we now? I mean, I still think that this fight is a foregone conclusion. Yeah. And that is Ascension 0, Slay the Spire, the Ironclad. Fantastic. We proceed. We deal a bunch of damage to the heart. What is this mysterious thing? I do hope we don't have to fight it at some point as a form of a secret boss. We won? Question mark? We did indeed. We unlocked Ascensions. We also unlocked a new set of cards for the Ironclad. I thought it would be more. We unlocked Heavy Blade, deal 14 damage. Strength affects this card 3 times. It's a solid card. Spot weakness. If an enemy intends to attack, gain 3 strength. So, you've seen that demon form is 3 energy for gain 3 strength next turn, and then again the next turn. Spot weakness is do in 1 turn what demon form might have done right now, and you get to defend yourself. And then we have Limit Break, double your strength, which is a fantastic card in most occasions. You can use it to go silly number, go brew, but even if you don't use it for that, it's just good. We've also unlocked the Silence, which we will be playing on the next video. In the meantime, I'm D, and I hope you've enjoyed, and have yourself a good day. You've earned it.